Today I've got a new light for me anyway. This is the Wuben C2. I've not done reviews on any Wuben lights. They wrote to me and said, hey, would you be interested in reviewing one? I said, yeah, new brand for me. I'm always interested in checking out new lights. So they sent me the C2. This light puts out up to 2,000 lumens and is a decent thrower. We'll take it outside and check a look at it. Price on this is $46.99. They did give me a discount code. I'll put down below Snare20. You can get 20% off if you buy these lights from their website, so definitely check that out as well. Some basics on this light: it will put out up to 2,000 lumens. They say it will throw that 2,000 lumens up to 358 meters. And also interesting for this light is that you can both charge it through the port here. A lot of lights are coming with rechargeable ports these days like this, but you can also use it to charge something else. It has a USB-C in and a USB-A out, so that way you could charge your cell phone if you want. It of course comes with a rechargeable battery. It also will take either a 21700 or an 18650. We'll take a look at that as well. So there are some options, and let's now get into the light itself. This comes in the box, and the stuff that comes with this, it comes with the light, it comes with a lanyard, some extra O-rings, and a USB-A to USB-C cable. Looking at the construction of the light here on the back of it, no buttons back here. The only button is right on the side here. So it will, of course, tail stand if you're so inclined. The pocket clip here goes all the way back. It's a really deep carry pocket clip, and I do appreciate that they put a little bit of a ramp up into the clip so that when you're putting it in your pocket, that does go up over that little ramp as opposed to having just a kind of a wall right there like some companies have done with these deep carry pocket clips. Now, a downside here, the pocket clip, which will of course rotate around, or you could just take it off if you want. One of the downsides is that because the pocket clip goes all the way back here, when you're trying to take the tail cap off, it's a little challenging because you can only unscrew it this much each time. You can't do a bunch of twisting. You're probably not going to take it off a whole lot because you're going to charge it through the port here, but when you do go to take it off initially, it's a little bit harder to unscrew because that pocket clip kind of gets in the way. Now inside, it does come with a Wuben 4800 milliamp hour 21700 battery. And as I mentioned, they say you can either use a 21700 or an 18650, obviously smaller and smaller output. The 21700 fits very snugly in there, but if you're going to use an 18650, it's going to bounce around some. And when you go to getting it screwed down tightly there. Now, once it's in there, the light will of course work, but because the battery doesn't take up all the space in there, there is some rattling in there. So I recommend just using the 21700 that comes with it, slow as it might be to change it, and skip the 18650. But if an 18650, a spare one, is what you have, then that's what you can use. I am really annoyed by the pocket clip getting in the way there. I would rather have the pocket clip go to just right here and have that tail cap stick out a little bit, but it's a small nitpick. Moving forward here, there is some nice, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it knurling, but some design texture here through the side of the light. When you're holding it, it's going to give you some good grip on it. And as you can see, it is a pretty big light. It's not a small light by any means. You can still put it in your pocket, but just beware to have a little bit more space that's going to be taken up in your pocket by this light with its super deep carry pocket clip. Now moving forward, right here is the charging port. And this slides out of the way here. This is rubberized, so when it's sealed, it helps with that IP68 rating, but move it right out of the way here, and there are two ports. It comes with a larger USB-C cable, but for ease of the use of this video, I'm going to use just a short one. Now when you're charging it, you could put the USB-C cable into here, obviously plug the other end in, and the light over here will light up red when it's charging, blue when it's fully charged. Now alternatively, you can also use this to charge, say, your cell phone in an emergency, and in this case, you take the USB-A end of the cable, you plug it into that end, and then you take your cell phone, plug that in, and cell phone starts charging. This is great if you are maybe in your car in an emergency or somewhere where your cell phone is somehow dead. This is a 4800 milliamp hour battery that hopefully is decently charged. And if you need to get your phone charged just enough to get some help, this is a nice option for that. So a great option for your car, your get home bag, get bug out bag, things like that, that you can charge some other devices, or even heck, another flashlight for that matter if you really wanted. On the other side here is the button that actuates the light. When you turn it on, it will initially come on blue, either solid blue, flashing blue, red, or flashing red to give you an idea of the battery charge. You can also, if you want, set it to always be kind of breathing, and you do that when it's off. You triple click it, 1, 2, 3, and now the light there is just going to breathe on and off. Useful, I suppose, if you have this in a bag and you know you're going to be using it and you want to be able to find it. Although I guess if the light is down, you're not gonna be able to see this slight breathing. But if it's somewhere or, you know, on your nightstand, you wanna be able to see it and grab it, you could do this. I don't know how long the battery goes in that breathing mode. They don't really say that, but it is kind of an interesting option that you can do there. I can't imagine it eats a whole lot of the battery. To undo that, another triple click, 1, 2, 3, and no more breathing. Yep. Now the rest of the user interface, pretty straightforward if you're familiar with flashlights. Long press the button and it will go into the what they call eco mode. That's 5 lumens. It's going to do that for 12.5 days, 300 hours. And then you just hold this down to ramp through the brightnesses. Eco, low, medium, and high. So eco, low, medium, high. Eco, low, medium, high. From any of these brightnesses, if you double click, it goes into the turbo, 2000 lumens. It will do that for 1 minute and then ramp down to 700 lumens for 3 hours. And then from here, if you double click again, it's going to go into the 1200 lumen strobe, and then double click again, and it's going to go into the SOS, which is a 200 lumen. They don't give run times for either the strobe or the SOS. And then click it again, and it goes back to whatever mode you are in. You can lock it out by quadruple clicking it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will flash. And it is now locked out. You cannot turn it on. If you have this in your bag, you don't want it to accidentally come on. To get it out of the lockout, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will come on back into that eco mode. Down in the tip there is, I would say, a medium deep smooth reflector, and you can see just some slight crenellations on the tip of the head there. Eco, low, medium, high, turbo. You can see not a huge difference between the high and the turbo. It does have a pretty focused beam, you can see there, so it does have a good amount of throw out in the distance there. Again, to get just a little bit of time out of that turbo, but when you need it, it's there with that double click. Double click again, there's the strobe and the SOS. So there you go, the Wuben C2, new light for me, new brand. Not a small light, but interesting that you can both charge it and use it to charge something else. So this makes a nice light for a go bag or a bug out bag or any type of emergency like that, where if your phone is, say, dead, you can now use this to charge your phone or anything else you need for that matter with the battery. So maybe keep this and a couple other batteries charged, and you can feed them into here and charge other things as much as you need to. Kind of interesting use for that. So check it out, link down below, 20% off code down below, the Wuben C2.